Yo, what's going on? It's the Bruisery Podcast. As y'all see to the other side of me, I have a special guest. She go by Marquita Eddy, but I will let her say what she actually go by as far as her business wise. Keita, what's happening?
Not much. Hey, everybody. I'm Marquita. I'm the founder of Beneficial Bay, where we give great business assistance for entrepreneurs.
There we go. So this is my little cousin. I mean, not 2 years far, not too many years far apart. And I was looking at my prep work. I had this prep work sent like 'cause we were supposed to do this on September 3rd. Honestly, we supposed to do September 3rd. So I'm looking at my notebook and looking at my prep, and I'm like, damn. So we had what? That's not what that's 9. So that's like almost down there 2 months or whatnot. But and you thought I was spending you whatever when I called you
I
yesterday.
did. I did. I was like, dang, I can't even play the family card around
No, it wasn't that. Like I said, and I said, I did a podcast with myself a couple hours ago before you, before we got on, um, and no, it was just I just had a couple things going like in a positive way though. There's a couple things that was just shaking real quick, and so I had to digress on a podcast joint. You know what I mean? And then plus, I don't know, the tech guys wasn't liking me like, you know what I'm saying? This computer shit wasn't liking me because every time I want to press play on something, then it's like boom, boom. It wasn't working, and so now I'm in the mix of I had to call one of my childhood middle school guys. He gonna build me a computer, you know what I mean? So
Oh,
there's
wow.
gonna be no problem no more. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna build me a computer. I mean, I'm buying a part. He not doing it for free, but I mean, well, he not.
Yeah.
You know
Just
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
that skilled to be
Putting it
able
up,
to know what to do.
yeah. But yeah, no, but so I always, it's all about. I guess it goes the business or whatever. Not burning bridges. I think it's one thing that you spoke upon, not burning bridges or whatever. So therefore, sometimes you can make a phone call and they don't have no problem assisting or helping out with said thing. So before we really get into your business joint, this is, I mean, like you don't have to be long. You don't got to do it long windedly or whatnot, but I would ask you like, what was your childhood sibling bring up, like, I'm saying, like your structure as far as, I'm saying, like whether it's mom, pops, grandpa, that's or not. Even though I know a mass of it, but I'm speaking as far as the masses of the individuals that's listening.
Okay. I am the firstborn daughter from my mother and my father. They got together when my brother, he might have been like 6 or 7. They didn't have me till he was almost 10 though. They got married. It didn't work out. They got divorced, but they remained friends. And like my dad basically had us all the time. After me, about 5 years down the road, even though they broke up, they somehow was still good enough friends to have my little sister Diamond.
Uncle One,
Um,
you know what I'm saying? Shout out.
yeah, so we was always together. Like he always had a key to my mom's house. He was always a great father, always a good uncle to my mom's side and my dad, and to his family too, but a
Yeah,
lot to my mom's side. And we spent a lot of time just with both families, period. So my mom, she was mostly working a lot. She's always been like doing an entrepreneurship or some type of like nice government job or whatever,
right,
which was cool. So she was more into the business. My dad, he had the availability in his schedule to be around the kids a lot. So we were able to form like a loving bond. And you could kind of say that's kind of really where my journey started, like even with the business, just because it's the love that I know from my mom as far as like, okay, we're gonna get this money, I'm gonna get this business together, and that's how I'm gonna show you my love by making sure you're okay. And then my dad's love is more of a we're gonna spend this personal time together, we're gonna make sure that you understand what proper love is. Um, and now I kind of married the two ideas together and teach it to entrepreneurs.
yep. And then yeah, because I mean, Unc used to he'll fall through my crib like this. It's back when we lived on 94th and Miles or whatnot. And
Always.
then for the ones that didn't, the ones that just not in Cleveland, whatever, but the ones that is like 94th and Miles, just live between Pratt and Miles, but like Uncle fall through, and then he always made me he always made me and then Michael John when they was younger, my two little brothers. he'll make these like he'll make small pancakes, but he'll make a lot of them though. He make like a stack like Denny's and IHOP ain't got shit on my on Unc and your pops or whatever and shit. So then that's when I first got hip to the, you know what I'm saying, he'd throw the jelly on that bad boy on the top. You know what I'm saying? But like no, but he, yeah, I mean like him, then my Uncle Carlton, you know what I'm saying? Like those are two, Uncle Reggie, like those are three that was in Cleveland. You
for
know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like, Uncle Midget, you know what I'm saying? He was down yonder and shit. So, but he was down like in Memphis or whatever. But those three, and then I was, I mean, I actually all three of them was military. So, I mean, that it's not the reason why I went, but it just happened to go that way because, you know what I'm saying, like as far as you know what I'm saying, you only got, well, as far as that side, the Eddy side, you know what I'm saying, it's just it was your pops, you know what I'm saying, Uncle Carlton, you know what I'm saying, Uncle Reggie, and then Uncle Midget, and
Mm-hmm.
then my mother was the only
Only
female,
girl.
whatever, you know what I'm saying. So, but yeah, no, that was dope. And then Jim Beam, man, Jim, you know what I'm saying. Like we were speaking of him, then we was talking childhood because I know I asked you offline, but I like to get in touch with him, you know what I'm saying, because he was, back on 143rd, we was rocking and rolling, and
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get his
he was always my
information.
big cousin, you know what I'm saying.
And he doing really great too. He's actually trucking now.
Right,
He's on CDLs and everything. Awesome dad. One of his kids, believe it or not, she just turned 14.
right.
Um, his stepdaughter, she's 17 now, and then his youngest got a little boy named Aiden, he's 12. But I'm gonna definitely give you his information. He'll love to hear from him.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we get it going. Um, so like I don't I know you went to like a what y'all call it, HBCUs, is that what it's
Oh
called?
yeah, I sure
Just gotta do
did.
your thing. So okay, all right. So I mean, like, give me that in a nutshell. Like how the HBCU coming from a city girl, or being a city girl, and then shooting down. You know what I'm saying, shooting down to, the South or whatnot, and how that helped or didn't help, or, what I'm saying, like the pros and cons to it. Basically, what I'm asking.
Oh, it was awesome. So I actually was Catholic school until 10th grade. Then after 10th grade, my 11th and 12th grade year, I went to Bedford. So I left Catholic school, went to suburban school. So I never really had like a public school or like wild school experience. I couldn't go to South. I couldn't go to Kennedy or none of like the schools here in Cleveland, and like that are Cleveland city schools.
Gotcha.
She just wasn't happening. So when I got the opportunity, I went for free. The first HBCU I went to actually was Clark Atlanta University, and that's down in Atlanta. And it was nice. It's just different. Atlanta itself is more like a black mecca when it comes to just like a lot of like that chocolate city vibe. It's a lot of affluent blacks just coming and supporting each other,
And
not
now,
only for the schools, but like businesses, obviously like parties and things of that nature.
was this circa? Was this circa, like, I mean, like give me like the circa year, like, because I mean,
Oh, okay.
I know it
So,
evolved. I know it evolved throughout the years or whatnot. I mean, like, just me watching like podcasts, interviews, whatever, just hearing from, the guys of the, like the 2 Chainz or whatever, like, how like it evolved throughout the years. So what years were you, or what year did you? And I ain't trying to date you or whatever, but
no, that's cool. I graduated high school in '07.
all right,
I didn't even go to college till the um, January '08 because I was not even a college, want to be going to college type of person.
right,
So I graduated '07. Now, black colleges, period, especially the AUC, which is the Atlanta University Consortium.
gotcha.
So Clark Atlanta's in the middle. So we got them in the middle. You cross the street on one side, you have Morris Brown. That's the school I ended up graduating from. Now that's a co-ed school, and it's like the littest one. Then you cross the street on the other side and go like a Y. And Morehouse is right here, all boys, and Spelman is here, all girls.
What was that the joint? Remember a couple years back? I don't know if it was MTV or BET. They had like a quote reality show about
Yeah,
certain
College
colleges,
Hill.
whatever. Like,
So
like
they did
no,
that in the
there you go.
AUC
Yeah,
with
yeah.
all of them together.
Right. There you go. Yeah, okay.
So they took kids, instead of doing one school, they took kids from all of those different schools and
Right.
put them in an apartment together.
There you go. Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm going like a year after that aired.
Okay.
Now, um, at the time I went, we were doing all the movies or had just finished all the movies. So like Stump the Yard, Drumline, all of them kind of movies are usually filmed right there, either Morris Brown or Clark Atlanta
So
or
on
Memphis.
set. So that's actually on set down there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then like the students, I was part of Student Government Association. So like anytime they filmed music videos on campus, had any type of ballad of bands or homecoming, whenever you want to include a student, like they get paid as extras, even if it's only like $50 a day or something like that. It's pizza. They get a chance to not only be a part of the project, but also make some quick funds on the other end of it.
Gotcha.
So it's lit. I mean, it's nice. And like I said, it's more of a cultural thing. You learn so much about your heritage. Like Morris Brown, for instance, it was founded by slaves. And it's the only, or one of the few HBCUs, but the only one right there in that circle that was founded by slaves for blacks. The other ones were founded by white people for blacks. You know what I mean? Like on the whites only, blacks only type of thing.
Right.
Morris Brown was actually founded in the basement of a church by the slaves. So it was more like our FUBU culture. And they teach you so much about history and not just slavery or, you know, that part of history that you get in February. It's like all around, like, let me show you this greatness. Let me tell you about all these painters, these humanities classes, and English classes, and the poets, and like a new age Harlem Renaissance almost.
Okay.
And they encourage you to just be you.
Okay, so I mean, like, so even with that, like, where it be HBCUs, like, and the question I would have, I think, I mean, because like for instance, like Envy, he always talk about Hampton, and but he talk about he's strongly with the HBCUs, DJ Envy, you know, Breakfast Club, whatever. But like, do you have? Is it multicultural? I mean, I know it's like the black
Yeah,
community,
like so
but you do you
there's
have
like
you
I
have
guess
do
there's
you have
not as
diversity? I'm
many,
asking, do you have diversity?
right. There's not as many I guess white kids, but there are a whole lot there. White, Hispanic, everything, but they're immersing themselves in the open culture to be black and be proud. And that was like nice because usually it's the flip side. It's usually us, especially me
Yeah,
coming from Catholic school. It's usually about 12 or 13 of us trickling in and learning their history, learning their culture, learning what they think is right, as opposed to now it's few of them, but they coming in here and they repping with us. They join fraternities, sororities, um, all of our campus parties. The bands are always like super dope.
right.
And our homecomings, like you'll see like in HBCU, every October, outside of this one, we had to do virtual this year, but every October is really like a family reunion. Everybody come and they pack the yard and it's a whole week's worth of just activities and support for the current students and memories and nostalgia for the alumni, people who may not even graduated, but they went and they spend their money to come back and continue to support the institution because they don't get enough support like you would the D1 schools.
The big ones, yeah. The big ones, yeah. No, I understand that. Like, I don't know if the pocket's different or whatever. Like, but yeah, that's definitely understood. So speaking of, you know what I'm saying, pockets and business or whatnot. So so we got the acronym B.A.E. And then behind me, if y'all listen or if y'all watching, because obviously this would be audio and video, but if y'all watching, so B.A.E, the acronym B.A.E. How did that come about?
Okay, so really, I just wanted to do business assistance for entrepreneurs. And it just happened to be like when I wrote it in a vertical line, it just happened to say "they." But my basis has always been approach business like a good marriage. And that's kind of how I just came up with the whole make your business your pay type thing. And then apply the same principles that you would like a loving, supportive, actual healthy relationship to a loving, supportive, healthy, profitable business. So it kind of just came by happenstance, but it has become the foundation of my whole thing. And I wanted to give great. Like I didn't want to call it business bay or nothing because bay is actually business assistance for entrepreneurs.
Right.
But if I'm gonna give some type of assistance, it needs to be advantageous or favorable for the people who are receiving it, not just me. Like I don't want to just make money. I want to make sure that y'all are winning so that, you know, because y'all gonna inevitably, if I make sure everybody else winning or at least giving out some free tips and they get like some small wins, maybe like 500 here, 1,000 there, just on my Instagram lives or something, inevitably my business is going to grow just from the strength that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, helping y'all.
I don't know, 500 or 1,000. That's a. That don't sound small to me. I ain't gonna lie to you, especially in this.
Compared, but you got to think. So
But
like,
I understand like on the loan.
yeah,
But
for the people who like work with me and spend money, you know, this little like that's nothing compared to the money because it costs money to work with me. So like, just for an hour with me is enough.
I'm gonna get to that. I
Okay.
already got that. I already got that going on. I'm gonna get to that. So not to cut you off, but yeah, and then the biggest thing, and then I know I saw something before, or as at the beginning when I was doing my prep back in September, like I spoke upon, like companionship or business. Do you choose one or the other, or can you do both, or what's the situation with that? Like for instance, I'll give you an example, like this is a cheap regular example, but like if if you have a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whatever the case may be, when you say you want to indulge into this said sector, is it an immediate cutoff that if they're not trying to provide you with that, or excuse me, help you, or like not per se assist you, but just
Supportive in some way.
support it in that aspect to what you want to do.
No, so a lot of companionship period is communication and more than communication, comprehension. Now, for me personally, I have a strong belief, like I'm a hopeless romantic, even though I done took some L's in love.
Or
I personally believe that
same here.
if you're doing it right, you're building it the same way because the principles and the foundational ideals are the same. And I think where a lot of, especially Black women, we have this idea of being like this strong Black woman. I don't need a man for nothing.
Oh,
And I feel like sometimes that's wrong and backwards. And a lot
don't
of
let me get
times,
on that, but I'm gonna let you finish. But don't let me get on that. I'm
but to be honest, I
but,
feel
but,
like it's backwards thinking. And a lot of times it's just wrong, to be honest. To be quite clear, if you are building your business in the same ideals and foundations that you are building your relationship, you will have no choice but to prosper in both. Now, when it comes to um, support as it relates to like your significant other, understanding what you're trying to do and being able to drive that vision with you, not necessarily being a part of it, but not being an impediment.
yeah.
What you really have to do is communicate it. One of the first things I did was the 5 love languages. I used to go to counseling.
You bring the book. You know the book is over there, but I won't even. But the book's over there, but
Yeah, but we read
it's
the
on the other
book.
desk. It's on the other desk, I'm hip.
Yeah, so you hip.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, like you know from the book, when it comes to speaking to your spouse, it's not necessarily that you're not saying something, it's that they're not hearing it.
Right.
So you have to speak in a language that they're familiar with.
And what you saying now, like so what you saying now, like so the five, so basically, because I did counseling as well with my we did premarital counseling and we did counseling post or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna say I'm a saint throughout my life or whatever, but hey, but the 5 languages, and then it was that was one thing, but it's that goes with also like the speaking with the was that the Venus and the Mars type deal.
Yes,
Like, so that's
exactly.
because like how I'm speaking to you, or you know what I'm saying, how I'm speaking to said person, like my spouse or whatever, like even though I was going that way, but she not receiving it
I'm not
the way
right.
that you know what I'm saying,
Always.
you not receiving it the way that I'm putting it out. So then that sometimes can be a little bit of turmoil, or you know what I'm saying, like it could be a miscommunication right there. But I got you, so go ahead.
Exactly. So um that's one of the things we try to teach, or not even try to teach. It's one of the free things I put out. It was one of the first things I put out because a lot of times in business, I was running into not just Beneficial Bay, but other business that I had started previously. My significant other, I didn't feel like he was supportive, and we would get into a lot of disagreements because he would feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You know, I am supporting you. So we had to really talk about the 5 love languages as they relate to supporting the entrepreneur, and how if I'm a words of affirmation person, or if I am a gifts person, or if I am a physical touch person.
What was that first one you said? Word of affirmation. What was that
Yeah,
first?
words of affirmation. So words of affirmation normally is like when you say something positives to me that I love to hear, because I'm one of those people who have to hear the yes or have to get that pat on the back.
Pat on the back. Okay, gotcha.
So as an entrepreneur, when I'm doing words of affirmation is, yeah, that's a great idea, or Dad, yeah, let me hear more of what you got going on. Oh, that's perfect. That's awesome. You did a great job. Like little stuff like that goes a long way to some people, depending on who you're dealing with.
Right.
Other people might be more of a quality time type person. So if it's two ways you can do quality time for entrepreneurs. Personally, you can do something that'll make my life easier. Or I'm sorry, acts of service, not quality time. So I'm trying to explain. But personally, you need to do something to make my life easier. So you can wash the dishes. You can make sure the kids are together. You can make sure homework done. You can feed the dog. You could, I don't know, sprinkle the flakes in for the fish. Whatever it is that you do, or whatever it is you can do to take something off my load. Or professionally, if you see me right here on this podcast, you can make sure, like, Dad, let me make sure her mics are okay. Let me make sure her screen is okay. Sit with me and let me know like what could be better, so that when I give this finished product to somebody, it's like, okay, perfect. I know this good. I done checked it. He done checked it. You know, we in this together, whether we together or not. You have a legit piece of what I'm trying to do.
So would you like, I mean, like for instance, the last part you just said, are you one to take like constructive criticism? Like, are you able to take that? I'm talking about like the pros, the cons, the negatives, or whatever. Like, are you able to hear that? Like, yo, that shit stuff, or like for instance, like it's like a cliche when like for instance, the man or whatever, and the woman trying on something. How does this look? How does this look in here? Isn't that? Then you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to smash the dreams or whatever and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you be like, it's okay.
No,
You
see,
could go that way, or you could be like, babe, hey yo, I don't think that's the move. You know what I mean?
you
So,
can tell me that's not the move, but you got to have an alternative. Like that's how we make it from criticism to
yeah,
constructive
pros
criticism.
and
You know
cons.
what I
I
mean?
always say pro, like military, like we do pros and cons. Like, even though
Mm-hmm.
it's not that you putting, and I do this with any, like when I manage any job, or I was not, I hate to say senior, but when I was whatever type of quote leader or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I would tell gentlemen they weak points, but at the same time I tell the strong points, and then vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, all right, yo, hey, man, you dope at this, you dope at A, B, and C. You know what I mean? But hey, D and E, hey, we got to tighten up on a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Do that make sense?
Perfect.
I mean, like that's how I feel when it comes to business, or even like sometimes relationships. Not saying that I'm the dope. I'm the dopest with it. I'm even still learning after,
It's a continued process, so that's right.
yeah, I mean, so I just think that it goes in the process of, because every time I look at a post or whatever of yours or whatnot, I see that that transition, or not transition, but just the parallel of business relationship, because I guess
Perfect.
the
That's what
shit
I'm
makes sense.
going
Whatever
for.
it is, the shit makes sense. I mean, hey, I'm like, the shit makes sense. You know what I'm saying? How, you know what I mean? And then what I'm about to get into you right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, well, you already explained the next joint I was talking about, like as far as relationship and business together. So we just talked about that stuff. But one thing I did actually, that when I came out, I will ask you to explain this. Um, the when the WAP came out, and then when I saw that post and this and that, I was like, damn, she flipped that shit like a damn remix. I'm like, all right. I'm like, so tell me how. I mean, I saw the post or whatever, but so you ain't got to really tell me. So when I say tell me, I'm just saying tell the, you know what I'm saying, tell the listeners or whoever gonna be checking this out. So when you did that WAP joint, and then you changed that said acronym, go ahead and shoot about it.
So I try to catch people where they are, because it's a lot of dope people who don't go with the gifts and talents. They go with whatever's trending or whatever. So I try to kind of stay away from the trendy part. But if it makes sense, like SENSE, I'm gonna make sure it makes you some sense, like CENTS. You know what I mean? So why Cardi B had her whole explanation or whatever, and it was all over my time. I couldn't get nobody to focus. So I put up this swimsuit post or whatever, like, yeah, just on a humble brag, like, let's talk about the real WAP out here. And that was the whole, winning contracts, asset securing proposals. But that's what I'm used to 2 months in, I got a contract with CMSD, which is Cleveland Municipal School District, and the city of Cleveland. And I had just started Beneficial Bay. I had an idea of what I wanted to do as far as teaching free courses to people in Cleveland because there's so many raw people in Cleveland. Like I really believe that going and traveling so much just over the United States and going to school and being in a different environment, it's nobody like a Clevelander. And when it comes to like getting stuff done, staying loyal, even like being just a Browns fan, nobody got heart like us.
Okay, well, hey, look, I have to be honest.
Don't start that hating.
No, I have to. I'm not hating. No, I have to be honest. I never been a Browns fan, so I have to say that. I have to say that for the people because if I let that ride, then they'd be like, "Oh, you ain't saying about you ain't no Browns fan, Bruce, and that." So I had to make sure I say that to my ladies and gentlemen that I listen to, whatever, especially my wife and her mom and stuff like that. But
dog pound, all the way 10 toes down, dog pound.
But no, what I was saying, like what I was getting at as far as, and I mean, keep that same rhetoric what you was talking about, but what I was gonna ask you, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but like when you said being around and being in different cities and traveling and being in different areas, and then because the if you look at social media sometimes or whatever, and I mean social media ain't truth or whatever, depending on whoever use it or how they use it, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. But what I'm saying is that so you feel that Cleveland have something, or you learn something from Cleveland, from being a city, or I'm saying, like a city of this, that where like you can use even though you in the say you living in a quote country or whatever, or a southern city or whatever, a western city or eastern city, in a different state, that Cleveland helps you, like, because you bred from it, it helps you out down yonder.
And not even being biased as like a Cleveland native, because I don't want people to be like, "Oh, she from Cleveland, her birthday."
No, not at all.
But
they already know. They already know. Because I lived in North Carolina, I lived in Virginia, I lived in the States, everything. So no,
it's something different about us. It's a different type of heart. It's a different type of swag. And regardless of where I go, even these hot cities, I've been to all the like top 6 big cities. There's nobody like Cleveland, like nobody. So when it came to like believing in us, it was like, what can I do to just like, put on for my city or whatever. So everybody, regardless if it's Cleveland or not, your city has always had some type of planning department. The planning department will always tell you what initiatives they have going on to help with like roads, to help with education, anything, because the mayor's always trying to get reelected, or councilmen. So they'll work with you if you have a plan to somehow enhance the city. My plan was I'm gonna get free business assistance, or I'm gonna start off, I'm gonna get a beta client, and my beta clients was gonna be Clevelanders. So all I needed was a space. So they gave me 6 different schools to pick from City of Cleveland. And I needed security and people to let us in and out of the buildings. And that's how we got City of Cleveland to work with us. But I came ready. I told them the 3 different things I wanted to focus on, which was starting a business for under $100, marketing that business, and getting contracts. And people came out. It was snowing in December. People came right on out and supported the city, like showed up and showed out. Like there's nothing like just being a part of that. But that went with my WAP. Right. And then I did a video right after that because WAP stayed like relevant for like weeks. So I did a video right after that about customer retention strategies, because if you think about it, her WAP was a way to say, this is how I keep my man. I don't cook, I don't clean, but this is how I keep the person that I love. And in business, you need to be able to keep the people that you claim that you love or you claim to be working with. So I gave 4 different WAP strategies for your customer retention and how to keep a customer on repeat. And that ranged anywhere from like, just having an easy onboarding process and not stressing them out trying to get and support you, all the way to like giving up something and giving a freebie or whatever it is that it might be to help them enhance their experience with you.
Because it'll be sort of, what I just retained from you, or what I retained from that, is it's more like you receive what you give out.
Exactly.
I mean, like, basically, I'm saying, like, so I mean, like, when you said freebie or whatever, so I mean, like, like for instance, me, And once again, I'm dumbing it down. I'm just a dumb podcaster or whatever and stuff. So.
No. This is perfect.
So I dumb it down from on a quote like a street level or whatever. Like I I have sneakers and I'm a sneaker guy, so I give sneakers away. You know what I'm saying? Like I give sneakers away, and this
Hey,
is
shout out to you. I saw you did that earlier.
yeah, and it's not no shameless plug, or I'm not doing no shameless plug, but I'm just saying, period. Like, I've been doing this shit since I was in middle school, high school, getting cussed out from my mom and stuff. I gave sneakers away and got cussed out for it because I know I was quote fortunate than some other individuals, whatever. Anyway, but so like yeah, so I give out, and then and then I get those said sneakers away, and then sometimes I go to the garage and I look and I'll be like, I just did this afternoon. I'm like, yo, I ain't giving no shoes away no more, man. So I'm like, damn, I'm talking about like mine, like the ones that I wear. And I'm like, damn, I'm like, I don't even know where I even gave these away at. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be crazy. So you put in or you put out what you know what I'm saying, what you
If
can
you want to
come
receive.
receive, what you receive as well. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely excuse me, I definitely 1,000% agree with that. And that was kind of the WAP strategy or whatnot. And I'm kind of going. I was trying to go chronologically, but it is what it is. So the one that I said, and you can say it quickly. I ain't trying to have you long winded. I ain't trying to hold your time, man. You giving out a lot of free content. That I know that we get to the 60 minutes of the one during the minute. But like one of the things I put was the 5 things. excuse me, the 5 themes of business building. So like what if you can explain that in a nutshell, like what you know what I'm saying, how that
With
went.
the business and relationship
Oh
parallel.
no. Well, it just I mean, well, however you can explain it, because it was 5 things of business building. I just know you had that in one of your posts.
It is. So I always say there's 5 ways that a good business is like a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is 2 to 5 years is normal for it to be like totally official, get everything in order, including your trademark, making a real profit and seeing some real love and real results from it. A lot of people get in this whole I call it the 90-day fiance thing, where they think 90 days I'm gonna make 6 figures because this fool on Instagram who ain't even made 6 figures told me that. And it's like, yeah, we got some work to do. Not to say you can't do it, but on a realistic level, you got to you got to grind it out, figure out what you are, first of all, figure out who they are, and then you mesh this relationship together and it works. Um, then we talk about how it's easier before kids, because even though it can work with you having kids, I always give like free game on how to put your kids on the payroll and all that. The truth is, like, when you are single, when you have more time, it's easier to make it work before you make that commitment and have these children. Um, then we talk about it's not a fairy tale. I think a lot of people think like, oh my God, I'm not going to ever have any issues. And the true part of like figuring out if you love it or if you care as much as you claim you love it is going through those hurdles and seeing like, yeah, yeah, if we can get through it. You know what I'm saying? Not to say we'll never hit a pump. It's the part that we getting over it. And together we're getting over it. We're working through it. We're getting better on a daily basis, right? Because so many people are like, oh, I could do it, I could do it. And to be honest, they can't do it. A lot of people can't take what they claim they can. And a lot of people get mad when you kind of break it down to them like, this ain't like this is normal. Like there's gonna be some ups, but it's also gonna be some downs. And you gotta learn how to like ride each wave with a smile, or at least be able to finesse it so that it works for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
What number are we on? Three?
I think that was 3 or either 4 or 1.
Okay.
It's 3 or 4.
Then we talk about
You ain't even put you on the spot, but my bad. I was just once
no,
again.
no, no, no. This is good. I like it when people
Hey,
like
you
pay
just gotta,
attention
hey,
to what I be
give
saying.
you a
I feel like
refresh.
you
I'm giving you a
actually,
refresher. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I feel like you
Right.
actually be engaged
I
enough to know
told you,
what I be talking
I'm
about.
listening. I'm listening, not because you're my cousin.
Yeah,
Like when I do these things, if I take time from somebody else time, whatever and stuff, like I make sure that my my P's and Q's is set. So
I get it. I get it. I love it. All right. So the next one we talk about is it's constant self-assessment. And
yeah,
by this I mean we always look for our person, whether it be or your business, your B.A.E, to be getting it together or being that perfect work in progress. And we forget that for us to expect so much of them, we also have to be making sure that we're doing better. Are we constantly educating ourselves? Like you said, you guys are reading books, you're going to counseling, you are finding out different traumas that you might have as a kid that have been holding you back from loving them properly. So you always, always, always have to like measure that with yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
yes, ma'am.
So like that's like a big thing that people like skip over for whatever reason. And then the last thing I did marriage, I did kids, 2 to 5 years, military, what else am I missing? There's one I'm missing.
Yeah.
I feel like I only did 4 or 5.
4 to 5, good. Hey, that's a B. That's a B plus for me when I went to school.
I can't think of it off my head. As soon as I start talking, I'm gonna get it back.
Hey, well, you can bring it back up. So, hey, even that is to give your brain a breather real quick. So, even though it's the winter time now, but me and you had something, and I'm bringing this shit up because I fucking hate it as well. Me and you had something in common. Them fucking furry sandal things, man.
Oh
And
my
like,
god.
I hate them. I not a fan. Not a fan.
My only thing with that is like I don't get it. Like your top of your foot hot, but your toes not. Like
I don't
I
know.
don't get
I
it. Like,
just
how many squirrels had to die so you could look fly? Let it go.
I was never like when them puppies came out. Then my daughter, my stepdaughter, my wife daughter, whatever, my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like she had a pair of them puppies, man. Man, when I saw them when I first saw them, I ain't tell. I talked to my wife about it, whatever. Because I'm like, she got a pair of those, man.
Bop flops. You remember?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm about to say. That's what I'm about to say. Like I used to call them bop flops. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just, you know what I'm saying, that's why I used to call. That's like equivalent to that.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what I'm
that's
saying?
a
Like we
new
call
age
them
bop.
bop flops. You know what I'm saying? And some cats. I mean, well, Clevelanders know what time we talking about, whatever and stuff. But nah, man, I'm like, fuck, I hated those. But then when you put that poster, it was funny, so I laughed. I laughed very, very strong to myself.
They know I be serious. Look, we be having a real like a lot of my girls that be on the page and book sessions with me. They are boutique owners, and whether they sell bundles or clothes, they love them freaking bop flies. I can't stand them first flies. So we have a good enough relationship where I could be like, "Babe, that, like you said, babe, that ain't it.
All right.
I lay you to death. You doing good, but nah,
It
please don't come around me with that."
ain't the move. Yeah. Like no, like for instance, my wife, like it ain't those, but like she'll shoot something. She'll be like, you like these or you like this or whatever and stuff. I'm like, ain't my speed, but I'm like, hey, if you want to get them, you can get them. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I will request that you don't wear them with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, you know what I mean? Like she don't want me wearing Dickies or whatever. Like she think Dickies is straight work clothes, but I'm wearing Dickies 97. You know what I'm saying? Like oh, no, the wife don't she don't do that. She think she look at that. Her mental look at that as work clothes, or Dickies or whatever, like a Dickie suit or whatever. Like she ain't a fan of that. If I'm like say we was to you know what I'm saying
Go out
go ahead and
somewhere?
break bread or whatever and stuff like me, that's my comfort spot. Like that's why because I was never no clothes guy. I always been a sneaker guy. So
Right.
clothes, but then I just happened to start working in establishment, like working in the food restaurants and all that, or you know what I'm saying, restaurant establishments that where shit that was my uniform now. So I guess I would give her the point to where she probably like you wear that shit to work every day, so let's do something different. You know what I'm saying? Throw some jeans on, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? So now instead of wearing Dickies, now I wear
But
fucking jogging pants. You know what I'm saying? I wear jogging pants. Shit, you know what I'm saying? But but yeah, damn, I said I was gonna talk about. I asked you before, like it was okay, and then actually, fuck it, man. I'm to a point where I'm to a point to where I'm like I try to be more. I mean, I'm always honest on my podcast, but try to be more just throwing it out there a little bit more. It's not trying to suffocate myself and not speak upon things that I have questions about.
yeah.
So with that being said, like sex in a relationship, and then, I mean, I ain't talking about you gotta get graphic and no shit like that, but like, how do you think is that a plan? Do you think it's a plan thing, or you think it's a case by case thing when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, like intimacy in the relationship?
I
Like,
think that it needs to be part of the plan to have it regularly.
like
I think that
scheduled,
it takes time.
like scheduled, or well, I let you
No,
finish. I
like
was just
part of your mind, your mental plan.
got it.
Because if we really loving on each other the way we claim, I shouldn't have no problem giving it up. And if I'm doing it right and you doing it right, and we both coming from a stance of being a giver, then neither one of us will have an issue because both of us gonna make sure we get there, right?
Right.
So it's gonna be a fun thing where it's like, shoot, day, go take a shower, meet me up, meet me downstairs, who knows? But like I do feel like getting busy often is like a very healthy part of your relationship.
Is it? Do you think it's a too much or a too little?
Uh Not if it's with the right person. I don't think you can have too much. Too little, I do think is a thing. But I think it's I don't know. I think a few times a week is not too much to ask for. Like I think that's like normal,
Okay.
even with your schedule or whatever you might have going on. You should be able to make that time. First of all, you should want to have that time, not only for your partner, but for yourself.
Right.
Now, this is my personal opinion.
I don't know. Definitely.
Although,
This is my the
don't
only reason.
flame me in the comments. Don't
Oh no,
flame
no,
me.
no,
But
no.
I'm saying, like,
Ain't
you
no
need, I
bad.
feel like every other day, every 2, 3 days, I feel like it's very healthy on the body side and on a legit, like, level.
Right. No, no, no. I mean, because no, I would say. I mean, I would say that. Or actually, I would ask that because you're the first actually adult female that, I mean, other than my wife been on whatever, but but she like came on like in spurts of like my homeboy. That wasn't the subject at hand at the time, or that wasn't like inside that joint or whatever. But like, since the only reason I asked that question is because, like I said, yo, how your structure is for your business or whatnot, like it goes hand in hand with relationship stuff and all that stuff. So that's why I even pre-asked you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pre-asked you. Like, I'm like, would you talk about? I'm like, would you talk about something like that? Because I'm like, fuck it. I just asked, man.
Oh, so even in business though, I encourage you to get because technically, if you doing it right and you loving on your business the way you claim, you
Right.
should be happily getting busy at least, weekly. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, like every day, like you'll see me. At least I'm trying to post or do something. It ain't gotta go all out all the time. You ain't gotta have all the flowers, cards, candy, but you gotta be able to be like, you know what? I'm gonna give you something today to keep you going and to keep me going.
Right. Hey, that sounds good to me. And then so the business I put this as well. So I'm not sure. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just put business and I put selling lingerie. So is that you, or that's what because I mean, this is something I put.
Long time ago,
Not even
yeah,
recently.
it
I put it a
probably
while ago, whatever. But
that
then
was my first
I saw you
business.
put a. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Okay, yeah, that's a business you did. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I got into entrepreneurship, like for real, for real. Start to see like the real deal and not just what I learned because my degree is in business management. And they teach you how to run a business. Don't get me wrong, especially a Fortune 500 company, but they don't teach you how to start one. And I didn't have a clue. I was selling lingerie because I like lingerie. And I was buying for what I was interested in. I wasn't buying for my customers. So that was one problem.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't self assured enough to like brand myself. Like right now, I personal brand with Beneficial Bay. Every other post is like a photo of me or something like that where I'm actually actively engaged
When you
with
say
my lingerie.
when you say you probably want to answer my question, but I about to say when you said you wasn't
Oh yeah, I was doing more like stock photos. So like I was ordering stuff overseas. A lot of my pictures were like the pictures from the catalog. If I put any up, like I wasn't posting regularly. Instagram was still new anyways. It was like 2012.
yeah.
But I wasn't posting regularly. Um, and I had to pivot that business because it was like, why aren't people buying? And the truth is, I've learned with business, people have to see, or like any relationship, for me to be able to get with you and support you, I need to see a better version of myself with you. So people weren't seeing themselves in anything that I was selling, let alone like even in my photos. I didn't have like curvy black girls, but that's who I claimed to be targeting and working for. I had like very skinny Caucasian ladies because that's what the catalogs had. Um, so then I had to pivot that business. The second thing I did with that business to make some money was home parties. I did better with that. I would basically partner with somebody who was celebrating something or who was selling like sex toys or something like that. They already had the people, like the people who host the party bring their own guests. And it's usually at least 10 people up to like 50. But we do these parties, you stand in front of them, you tell them what you got to offer, and they at the end of the party go into a room with you and order discreetly. So that worked better for me because people come with the idea like, oh, I'm about to spend some money. And when I'm working with the sex toy girls, it's like, okay, they got the toys and all these like gadgets, but she got the outfit. So I'm gonna make this a full-fledged experience. And that worked.
And it kind of go hand. Well, you go shit.
Yeah, it was a complementary business. Exactly. You needed both. So that worked out good. But with those parties, I was kind of dependent on like, when is somebody else gonna throw a party? And my money became dependent on somebody else. So my business at the end of the day was dependent on other people. And you can't afford, like if one friend throw a party, somebody at the party isn't necessarily gonna be the next friend to throw a party because all the same girls are gonna be there. Right. So it's like, I mean, y'all barely spent this little money. So whatever. And I was getting lingerie, $5, selling it for $25. Had it on hand, you could take it with you. And what's so crazy is people weren't buying the lingerie at the time. People were buying those waist trainer things. Oh, God. That's all they wanted. They was big girls. They wanted waist trainers. I would always fill out the waist trainers, have to order them. Now my turnaround time goes from 20 minutes to, 3 weeks because I'm ordering from China. It was just a mess. So the next thing I ended up doing was pivoting and selling in the strip clubs. I legit was just over it. I had so much inventory I was sitting on. And I just started calling like Secrets, the Alibi, like all these little Cleveland strip clubs. I'm calling all of them like, hey, can I come in? And strip clubs have these ladies who actually sit in the dressing room called den mothers. And they give the girls like lip gloss, glitter, oils, and sometimes lingerie. So the ones who had den mothers, they would be like, nah, that's cool. But a lot of them was like, yeah, come on.
Right, yeah. Alibi was one of my dreams. I ain't talking about like I was throwing dollars and shit, but like no, I was down, said back in my
people actually went. I was back in my heyday. Atlanta's like super nice when it comes to clubs.
Cleveland, yeah, I know you do. They got like bar. I mean, they got like a fucking whole household in the goddamn down
there. It is nice in Atlanta. Here it's more like
But but Alibi before it started getting all crazy up here and stuff. But like a couple of years back, my fellas, and I ain't saying that I was the top dog. No, I wasn't the top dog at all. I was the guy in the corner or in the basement shooting pool with the Alibi.
That's okay. As long as you went and supported your girls. At the end of the day, they are entrepreneurs, small business owners, and they need the support.
I support the bartenders, basically. a lot. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to think. So I'm sitting on this inventory. I go to them. I went to a whole lot of the Caucasian clubs because it was easier to get into them, to be honest. But sitting in there, slinging a little lingerie, $400 or $500 a night. Go and you know what I'm saying? You got to hit 2 or 3 strip clubs, 2-3 hours tops. You good, you know what I mean? Then the 2 days later, you go to another one. Weekends is always popping because the dancers always got cash and they always need to change of clothes. Right. And that was like, why did I not think of that in the beginning? But that was like my start of my entrepreneurial journey. I had to learn that it wasn't always as sweet as I thought it was. But I didn't give up.
Do you think it's showers in the strip clubs?
Some of them do have them.
Okay.
Not a lot of them.
I just thought about it right then or whatever, but
a lot of them don't. But they have like a bird bath.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the bird bath shit, but that shit, that shit. I never been a lap dance person or whatever. Like, I mean, I never been a lap dance person because I'm like, yo, I just saw you 30 seconds ago, you know what I'm saying, listen to
Yeah, they be getting
now Easy
busy.
came on, then now you about to, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know. But I never really, I mean, when I was like 18, when I was in the military or whatever and shit, you know what I'm saying, little young, you know, so I'm still way behind the ears at the time. It's like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying, like, whatever, but get it, you know what I'm saying, $8, $7 lap dance, or whatever, 5 lap dance, whatever and shit, you know what I'm saying, but, that's no here nor there. But, but, so I just got a couple more questions then we can get going because oh no, it's only 4:30. Well, I know you got something popping later, so I don't want you to have to run like you doing a press tour and shit.
Ah,
But,
I've done that before. No,
yeah, but
this one not till 6. I'm good till 6.
I'm a time oriented person. I like even when I go to work, like I don't go to work. I get to work an hour. I get to my destination like an hour early, 45 minutes early, so I can regroup. And just give me time for that. But social introvert. That was something else I saw. I forget where I saw that. I mean, I know I saw it on your post, but it was something that you said or something that you posted.
Mm-hmm.
It was social introvert, and I just put elaborate. So
Okay,
you know what I'm
so
talking about? You know what
me,
I'm talking about?
yeah, I tell people all the time. I'm
Okay.
still a social introvert. So it's basically a idea that I coined because I'm like good and talkative, but I gotta get comfortable first. So like I'm mostly introverted in settings. I don't like to step out of my comfort zone. And I'm usually cool, but you gotta start the conversation. So I combat that by like posting daily or trying some way to get my business out there and like get it over my nerves by getting through them. Because for real, it's not about me. Like my whole platform is about other people and their transformation with their businesses and making sure that they're able to utilize their gifts and talents the way that they envision using them. So I realize a lot of the stuff that holds me back is me. And I don't want to be the person in our business relationship holding anybody back because of my nerves. So I try my hardest to just get over it. So I'm fun, but I need somebody else to like get it started.
So,
But
so you need
if people
stimulation.
tune in, that's a start for me.
So you need stimulate. So basically, you need like stimulation. So go to a relationship. To go to a relationship aspect. So it's like you need like a little bit of stimulation. Then
Like I can't come to you at the club. I need you to come and talk to me first.
right.
But once you get
COME.
here, we're gonna have a good old conversation. I might even dance, but I'm never like bold enough to be like, hey, what's up? Like that's it's not happening.
So, the traditional thing. So would you ever, what you saying that? Because you saying come to me, and we talk about COME, like come to you, right?
Right. Come
I'm assuming, right? Okay, come to
yeah.
like come and talk to me, or whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. But like with that question, then going to a relationship aspect, like, would you like say if you were in a dating realm or whatever, like would you approach as a woman? Would you approach a male like if you felt if you saw I don't know, whatever. You saw something. I ain't talking about this a physical or like say you did your research or whatever. I don't know, but like, would you approach a woman? Would you approach a male or a male always got to approach you?
So if it's our very first interaction, like I like the way you look, but I've never engaged with you at all. Like we don't talk, we don't follow each other on social media or nothing like that. I can't like I don't have it in me. I might go sit the best I'll do is like sit in your vicinity or like separate myself from my friends so that you don't feel intimidated walking up to like a group of girls.
Is that a
But I
real thing, man?
yeah,
I mean,
like
in a
people
movie, like, is that a real thing? Where we're like, I didn't say block. I hate to say blocking, but I'm gonna say blocking. Like, say it's five girls, and then the said gentleman, he can be the. I'm talking about just this plain like just whatever plain Jane. I ain't talking about like no bossy nigga with Hermes or whatever all that high end shit. Whatever. I'm talking about this say like a regular Joe like me. Even though that's my name Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't saying use me like Joseph, but like I got a hoodie. I got a hoodie and a jogger pants on, whatever and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, I'm cool. But I approach. You know what I'm saying at said bar. I approach you out of your four friends or whatever and stuff. So it's you plus one. Or excuse me, it's you plus four. And like with that, like, dude, is that like a hatred? or not a hatred, but like, is that something that where they gonna be like, who the fuck is this nigga?
So,
Like, is that a judging thing?
if
Is
it's
that
about
really a thing?
5 of us, it's guaranteed at least gonna be one that have her idea of it. But I think it's not necessarily hating as much as she's just in a protective mode. Because it's the whole girl code thing. Like we got to make sure everybody's safe. We make
I'm not
sure
trying to take you. No. I ain't trying. No. I mean, I get that. I ain't talking about like saying that you sliding for the night. Y'all came together. Then I'm trying to get you to slide for the night. I'm talking about just like, yo, can I speak to her for a moment? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like, but then like it's like, damn, do I gotta ask the other four? Like it's they fucking mother, like for a bride?
polite
I
to
gotta
ask the friends, but that's why I say like the best I can do for you is you like I'll look you dead in your eye. I might smile or even wave, but I'm not gonna come directly to you. The best I can do is separate myself from my friends so it's okay to come and start this interaction because I don't want you to feel intimidated or feel like I ain't about to talk to her because I don't want to have to deal with her people type of deal.
That sucks.
It's the truth.
I should be able to come and approach you. Excuse me, ladies. Maybe I have a second, just 2 inches away. And you know what I'm saying? So we're not in earshot. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be a gentleman, or I would say a gentleman or a guy should be able to say that. I ain't talking about stumbling over there and on some trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, because I always thought about that. I always thought about that stuff back in the day, back in my heyday or whatever and shit. Like I was like, I'm like, man, like, dude, I guess it's a real thing, man. Like, I understand it's a girl code.
We gotta protect each other, and I might be the shy friend. Usually, I am the shy friend. So like, regardless of what's going on, whether I really want to talk to you or not, I might be too shy to say no. I don't want to be bothered. So my friends are gonna be in a protective mode, whether I actually did want to talk to you or not. They're gonna be like, she good. She don't want to be bothered.
That's bad. In my opinion, that's bad. I just feel that way. Like that's bad. I mean, I understand like the like you said, like the protective mode or whatnot, but I just really feel I'm like that's bad. Like, I mean, because like yo, you don't know, you probably can. You're saying you can look at like, oh well, he had this club and we had the same club, so what's so different? So you can't judge. So you can't judge that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or that whatever bar, whatever establishment you at. So you can't judge that because y'all here and y'all deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, so so I just never I don't know, I never understood that, man. Like that's one of the things like back in the days is like I'm like, yo, what is it that you is that said female mad? And I don't know if, for as far as my experience, I don't know if males go through that because like when I was gooned up or whatever and shit, like it. I mean, like for one, females ain't coming. I mean, well, shit. Honestly, for instance, like say the alibi. Hey, my buddies, man, they knew every. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in that bad, from security all the way down to the damn cook. You know what I'm saying? They knew everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, and I ain't talking about. I'm talking about just period. Just knowing that aspect. That's the real only reason I was there because I was with those fellas I used to rock with a couple of years younger. You know what I'm saying? But but female come up, I'm not judged because this guy come. Now if a dude pull up, I ain't talking about sexual wise or like no relationship, but like cats used to come to some of my fellas, they'd be like, hey yo, what up, old buddy in the camouflage jacket in the corner, and they're like, oh no, that's Bruce, he cool, you know what I'm saying, like that, like because them niggas checking me out to make sure. So this more on the security side, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I was back then. You know what I mean? When we was when I was hitting them streets, but I'm way
like that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. But it is what it is. So so ending up, and I waited for this because this is my biggest question because this is something that I have to work on, and I probably need help. I guess I had to pay you. You know what I'm saying? But how the hell do you promote so much as you promote?
Oh,
I
that's actually
wait to the end because this is the Big Bang Theory for me. So like, how do you promote so much? Like especially with because you and my guy Flex, shout out to Flex, and then there's a couple of cats that
I met him from where I started following him from your podcast.
Yeah, that's my guy.
I like him with the Linda G.
Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah. That's my guy from that's my guy from years. I'm 36. I say about 20 plus in. So now I ain't saying I have a sleepover or we had a sleepover and stuff like that,
No, but he's
but
cool and he's really good at like marketing his business too.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So like between like him on the male side and I got a couple other gentlemen and ladies that do it, but like I'm just like I'm like, man, how do you format the way that you about to? I ain't about format like as far as the actual post, but mentally, how do you format like, all right, I'm about to put up 8 posts today, or I'm gonna put up. How do you go around that way?
Okay. So for me, I always tell people get you a platform. My chosen platform is Instagram. It was gonna be YouTube, but first of all, I got this like weird nervous thing about YouTube and perfectionism when it comes to like the SEO and stuff like that.
Mm.
But Instagram is more engaging when it comes to like me putting up stuff and seeing an instant return from not following in my audience. Um, so I knew I wanted to do Instagram, and to be I guess not forgotten in Instagram land, the best way to do that is to post at least like 2 to 4 times a day. So I always had that in my mind that I was going to do that. The types of content that I post um, are like eyes. I think I just put this up like yesterday or it's going up today because I kind of plan them out sometimes too. But it needs to be interactive where I'm including them in whatever I'm doing. It needs to be in, interactive. It needs to be like engaging or
Right.
whatever, or I'm sorry, informational, where I'm telling you something, which is a lot of my content.
Right.
Um, it needs to be interesting, where I'm doing something crazy or like the WAP saying something crazy, where it's like, I got your attention now, so whatever. Or I just need to like initiate and ask you for whatever I want, which is, hey, go buy this, or hey, go subscribe that, hey, share this for me, or a mixture of the four. Now, the type of content that I put up, or how I just make content easily, is I've learned my target. I know exactly the top 3 people that I talk to. Now, there are obviously more than 3 people, but they fit in these like 3 different archetypes. So I know their demographics, like Black, their age, their income level, their race, and things like that. But I also know their psychographics. What are the type of things that make them tick? What are the things that make them excited or angry? What are they listening to? What do they watch on TV? Um, this or that. Like I do this or that, like with my audiences all the time. Like, would you pick red or blue? Would you pick Martin or Will Smith? Like what is it and why? Because then it's like, okay, when I make posts, I know that they love Friday, so I'm gonna put up something about Friday. Or I know they love Real Housewives of Atlanta, so when I put up something, I'm gonna make sure I have something going with that. At one point, everybody in my audience was loving P-Valley. So when it got off air,
What's that?
I started to, it's a show on HBO. It's about strippers.
Oh,
But not
I heard about
necessarily
it. Never
the
watched it.
club. It's good though. It's not just necessarily the club, but their stories behind the dancers.
Right.
So when that got off air, because it's on like a winter break right now, I just took all these themes of content and started taking them back down to P Valley. And it was like, okay, this is the 4 P's of marketing. This is the 4 P's of getting your business together. This is the 4 P's of this, that, and the other. And with the carousel, Instagram works basically by making sure that they are on your platform as long as they can be. But they also have it where if you can get somebody to stop the scroll, because all day, all we doing is swipe it, swipe it. We might like, but we gonna swipe. If you can get somebody to swipe up, see you, and stop, and maybe watch your video, or I like to do the carousel post where you got to go through 4 or 5 slides.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah, man.
also you instantly engaged, and when by the time you get to the end,
He's
it's
already
like
committed.
share it. Yeah, you
He's already
here
committed.
now.
Like,
I got at least 2, 3 seconds out of you,
already went through three slides. I might as well get to the goddamn shit.
and that's how it
That's how
is.
that's how the news articles is, man. Like you'd be like, yeah, um, you won't believe what happened with this and that and that. And then I got
And
it
you
the
keep going like,
next,
oh, what
like 4
happened?
ads, and now 10 minutes later, it's like, fuck. All he did was just throw it in the water. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, but I try to
I
give
mean,
you good
I ain't
stuff so
saying
you don't
yours
feel
like
like you
that, but
wasted your
that's how it
time.
is. I ain't saying like yours is like that, but it's like
That's
fuck.
how I do it. It has to be one of the four, as far as like the 4 eyes with the engagement or interest or whatever.
Mm.
And then it needs to be something that they like or that they can understand. But if I hit that, that's 4 posts a day.
Yeah, well, there you go. I don't know. I gotta figure out, or not figure out, but I need to post more. But I'm changing things up. I'm gonna try to post more because like my whole thing, like I said, because it's not no monetary thing for me. Like yours is a more monetary thing, but like it's more of a hobby for me. And not saying that it can't be monetary, but and I'm not down playing it. But I mean, I don't go ham. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't be trying to like flood nobody because I even when I was doing mixtapes back in the day, like it was called flooding the block. You know what I'm saying? Like we had like a 3 mixtape thing that when we was trying our rapping stuff or whatever, but it was called flooding the block because I'm just like, all right, you know what I mean? We gonna be in y'all ear. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Now I'm on an aspect is whereas I put the post up and then I posted and so whoever you know so on social media whoever quote follow me or quote my friends or quote whatever the case may be, then you know I'll just be like, yo, add, share, like, you know what I'm saying, comment, good, bad, or different, don't matter to me. But because I'm like, cause if you don't like it, I don't know, shit. Yeah, your homeboy like it or your homegirl like it or whatever,
Exactly.
depending on what the topic is, whatever. So that's why I always ask, and then like I just shoot it up once. You know what I'm saying? Like other than my hashtag, but if I put a post up and I'll be like, you know, hashtag Brucey Podcast, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. But I don't go hammer time, man. Like, but I know that like, what you saying, like just posting like a couple times a day. I think I could do that. That ain't too much savage mode or whatever and stuff. Especially if the content is good, if it's good or whatever. And I feel that my content I feel my content when I do bring it because it's so different depending on
It's
who I'm talking
amazing.
about. So you know I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, so I feel it's good, but at the same time, you know, it's all about what it is what it is about um if you're not a fan of that said person, especially when it comes to this podcast shit, like cats ain't gonna listen, you know, unless it's a trigger thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because the most receptive or the most amount of time that most people are receptive with audio or something, especially audio. I mean, excuse me, especially video. It's like the average of like 4 to 7 minutes,
Yeah.
unless like you really just got them or they really either a supporting you or b it's just they into listening to certain aspects of different formats or whatever. It's an audio a little bit different because you can drive and ride. Like I got a couple of cats that drive trucks or whatever, or they gone so or they at work and they able to have their earbuds in so they can listen. Like, man, I listen to that shit 2 times in a row, man. Like, well, so I done had that a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? So then that's pretty dope. And I, you know, I always say I appreciate that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like on the ending, um, 60 minutes with B.A.E. Is that what it's called?
Oh, can
What?
we talk?
Oh, can we talk?
Can we
But
talk?
it's 60
Talk.
minutes though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, all right. So go ahead and explain that for me, please. And like then,
That
like,
is like
yeah,
my signature introductory offer. People always ask how we can work together, and I always tell them the best way to work with me is for free, especially if you got Instagram. Go and like spam me in my carousel posts and my lives, my IGTVs, because I really do put out a lot of free game. Like I said, you can make some quick wins and some quick money, and I know if I can get you some free money, y'all know how my paid stuff works. But it's $147 now. It's super cheap compared to like industry standard. And I even do like flex pay where people can break their payments down into 4 payments and you pay like $38
right.
every 2 weeks, which is cool. But basically, it's a whole hour. You get to basically pick my brain about whatever when it comes to business. Because a lot of people just need direction. They don't need the full fledged thing. They just need help with like that one thing. They know what they want, but they can't properly articulate it. So I put them in the right steps to go wherever they need to go. We do Zoom calls and I record them so that they can get them after, they can pay attention to what I'm saying while I'm saying it. but they don't feel like they missed anything when they was taking notes because I send it all back to them. Usually I have to screen share. A lot of people just need help with professional development. So that's like setting up their website or making sure that they are registered with the state, getting a free EIN because somebody told them it was $300 or some mess like that.
Can you explain EIN? I'm not hip.
Oh, okay. So
What's
with
that?
your business, you're going to need banking information, things of that nature, setting up different accounts when it comes to like your vendors and things like that. You obviously are going to have to register with the state eventually, but your EIN is where you're going to need like your business money to go once you get it. And it's basically your business social security number to open up your bank account.
Okay.
It's free, and you'll use it to pay your taxes and open up your bank account. But a lot of people like will Google EIN because it's always people who Google everything and don't necessarily know what to Google. So they'll Google EIN and like the first 2 or 3 ones tell you like, oh, it's $300. When really you can just go straight to IRS and get it for free. So yeah, I had a whole like live about it, a whole rant about it because I had like 4 people in a row 1 week, legit, just 1 week, telling me how they was either spending 300 or they had got this deal where they can get it for 175, but they still didn't want to pay it, and they kept getting spammed by the company. And I'm like, let's do this in 5 minutes because it only take about 3 or 5 minutes.
So EIN, even with the EIN, like as far as but like say for instance, if you're trying to get an LLC, that's something that you had to pay for. Correct?
LLC you would pay for depending on your state. Those range from $99, like here in Cleveland, they're only $99. But like in Cali, they'll be like $175.
Right.
Still cheap. I mean, not
it's not bad,
but it's worth the investment. Because with your LLC, now you're an official business. You take a lot of liability off yourself. In the event that something happens, it helps create a corporate veil where they're not necessarily going after you directly and taking whatever assets that you have, especially being married. Nothing that like you and your wife own together. It will be whatever assets the business makes, and then that's only if they win their disputes.
And then like when you get a when you get an LLC, do you have to, like say you have a landscaping business or whatever you doing an upbuilding landscaping business or if I LLC my podcast or whatever, I don't even know if you can do that or no. Well, I'm assuming you can.
You can.
Or like a meeting.
Any business.
Like a meeting, but like is it an umbrella like my one LLC under my whatever I use? Like say if I use Bruisery ENT LLC, like do I that one LLC take care of all my stuff?
Each one would be a different LLC.
So I got it. So I
have like Bruisery ENT as the parent. Right. And then just like you know how you have 2 parents on your birth certificate, right. You make Bruisery Podcast, Bruisery ENT, and Bruisery and Joseph
right, whatever.
Own it or whatever. Or you can just do it where Bruisery ENT owns Bruisery Podcast. They also own Bruisery Landscaping. They also own Bruisery Apparel.
So that one LLC, I'm good to go going
with all 3. Yeah, like that could still be your name, Bruisery.
So the top dog, then I can umbrella down.
Right, and you don't have to. Like it can all be Bruisery, but when you go to file your LLC, it's going to ask you like what it's for or whatever, and you can just say this is just a parent company.
Gotcha.
And then as you own more, like as you get more, make Bruisery the big dog, gotcha. The daddy for all of them.
Gotcha. All right. Well, with that being said, because once again, you got to do what you got to do. I will ask you. I'm gonna ask you too, because when you lived in Atlanta and shit, especially around the time where shit was bumping like that, because around that time you was down there, I was in Iraq. So, what you got? You got Jeezy or Gucci?
Oh, Jeezy all day. I put on for my city.
Good. I'm a fan. See, my bro, not John or Mike, but like my other bro, Congo. Like he was always the Gucci guy, and I was always Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? But like I have a personal relationship with that album, his first album, TM 101, Thug Motivation 101, because I was in Iraq, and I used to listen between him. Now I listen to John Legend every time before I went on the convoy and shit. I listen to him every day and shit before I went on the convoy and do what I had to do. So Jeezy and John Legend always had a boom, but But Jeezy, my guy on this one. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I got it. Boom, boom, clap. I can't wait till I'm finished.
The whole joint. You know what I'm saying? The whole but that and let everybody know where they can find you at. You know what I'm saying? Like I got it. I got it in my backdrop. You know, and I put it in the feed when I post it up. But
And I
let
surely
everybody
appreciate that. Thank you. You can find me at beneficialbay.com. That's beneficialbay.com. BeneficialBAE.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at beneficialbay. And if you just want to sign up to stay really close to me and get the keys to home, because I give a lot of free game away on these social media sites, but I give even better ones in my emails and my text messages. Feel free to text KISS, KISS, to 21,000. And KISS is just an acronym for all of my good game, my keep it simple solutions. That's pretty much it.
kiss for me. Kiss for me back in the day was keep it simple, stupid. But hey, you put it together like in the military, it was that was our acronym, keep it simple, stupid. But I guess you got to be PC. You know what I'm saying, you're trying to get somebody
You
your thing.
know.
So I dig it. That's a nice flip. And also, y'all know where I'm at. Um, Hey, if y'all need email or y'all want to email me or anything, it's bruiserypodcast@gmail.com. At Bruisey and T is the best way, even though I have the Bruisery podcast joint, but I don't have. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't have enough time to be sitting on that side. Bruisey and T, I got most of the content going that way. I ain't gonna lie to you. Once it go that way, we're sitting that way. Facebook is Joseph Bruiser Collins. Um, and that's it, man. I appreciate y'all for coming. I appreciate y'all for listening, whoever listening, and make sure y'all on YouTube hit that like button, comment, share
Subscribe.
it, subscribe as well. Thank you for that one. Let's do it. Like I said, whether y'all hate it or love it, man. No pun intended, you know what I'm saying? But whether y'all hate it or love it, man, go ahead and do it. But I always try to bring good content, and that's why it took so long to get back, because actually this is season 3, part 1 of part 2 actually, because I'm gonna drop the shoe joint first. I don't know, whatever, 1 or 2, whatever, it don't matter. But I dropped 2 today. Goddamn it, y'all got some content. Anyhow, Keita, love your girl.
Love you
We'll
too,
holler at you,
man.
man. I'll get you back on here soon. All right.
All right. Have a good
All right.
one.
All right. Later.